Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV here at 11th Cloud Expo, Silicon Valley. Delighted to have Cory Isaacson with us for our biannual, kind of almost annual report on dbShards, but I always think we got to get it right. As CEO of CodeFutures, do you like being called the CEO of dbShards as well, or the creator of it?
I do like being called the creator of it, that's for sure. Yes.
Because it is a creative and very hot thing, Cory.
It is a very hot thing. We're in the big data space now and it's growing fast, it's great.
Let's catch people up who don't know about the dbShards story. Database sharding, you wouldn't have thought was sexy, but it's becoming pretty sexy.
It's becoming very sexy. Everybody needs to scale their database, and no matter what technology you use, database sharding is really the way that it's done underneath the covers.
And that's universal, or that's you ahead of everyone else still?
It's actually universal, but the difference between us and other products is that we're actually not a database. We can enable any database for database sharding, and we work with all the different types of infrastructures and expanding more and more.
So you're a technique, you're not just, another product.
That's right, that's right. We've been doing sharding, of course, for the beginning. That's been in our name itself, but sharding was really a pretty easy problem to solve. The thing that actually took longer is how do you manage a huge infrastructure of a dynamic number of servers that are managing database data that has to be reliable all the time. You have to be able to back it up, restore it, expand it, all of those type of capabilities. That's really where the tough job is.
And I'm thinking, Cory, that, obviously through shows like Cloud Expo, one of the things you're leveraging again and again is the more people we speak to, the more experience we get. Therefore, when the next guy comes, they're tapping into all that learning that you've been doing as a company.
That's correct, that's correct. We were really the first innovators in this space, and so I can safely say that we have more experience and have learned an awful lot, some through the School of Hard Knocks, and anyway, it's been very, very good.
And is it totally universal, this problem? You haven't needed to specialize in any particular vertical. It's simply a generic problem as we move into this big data era.
It's a very generic problem. We've done a lot with new adopters, so we've had social applications for a long time. We have many of the top 50 Facebook applications run dbShards now today, but we're now starting to break into enterprise brand names. We have a very big customer I can't say anything about, but anyway.
Oh, exciting stuff.
But anyway, they're doing very, very well. We have analytics companies now are very interested in us, and we also have another company that does gamification of other websites, and they use dbShards to drive all of that.
I've often wondered, and I'm sure people watching often wonder this, when you're selling, which one is as a company, an under-the-hood technology that, as you say, people probably don't really want talked about too much. How does that work? Do people keep saying to you, look, we're using you, but you mustn't say it, just as we had an example?
Well, a lot of times our customers don't want us to say who they are because they're doing very, very well with our technology.
Competitive advantage, they want to keep it secret.
That's right.
Is that frustrating when you're trying to grow the supplier of the secret sauce?
Sometimes it is, but I think we've been around long enough that we have a pretty established brand name ourselves now, and people know who they are, know who we are. And when you talk to us as a prospect, of course, we usually have some sort of disclosure agreement, and then we can tell you more.
Give me a great example then, never mind the names, of the classic, someone is listening and they're saying, I don't think that's anything that I ought to be concerned about, but I bet you think better. So who would be an example of somebody who's got those pain points but possibly isn't even aware of them, or they're just around the corner and you can say to them, maybe not today, but prepare for tomorrow?
That's absolutely correct. Anybody who has a large, fast-growing data set. So they could be doing a data warehouse application for analytics. They could be doing something in, let's say, a big, heavy traffic website. It could be as simple as that. It could be something where they have a lot of analytics data that they're tracking and they need to keep track of. Any type of application like that. So if you see your data growing, it's time to start worrying about scaling your data.
And there is a message from the CEO of all of this, so you should take it seriously. Now we can go to several sites, so you send them where you'd like them to go, because a gazillion people are watching.
dbShards.com.
See? I was wondering if it's going to go for CodeFutures. Go to dbShards.com, do it now, close down this interview. Thank you so much, Cory Isaacson, for speaking with us here at 11th Cloud Expo, and thank you for following along on the World Wide Web.